welcome to my channel. So this man called Simon Iyore Guobadia has been trending for the last 10 days because a lot of details about him have been emerging on social media, especially details related to his legal problems with the US system. So for those who've never heard about him, he first appeared on The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 as a husband to a prospective wife called Falin. Beautiful lady we are talking about. So after the season 13 ended, shortly afterwards, Colleen and Simon divorced. Then a few months afterwards, it emerged that Porsha was dating Simon, and Porsha was actually a housewife on that series, and she's the one who introduced Falin to the show. Here, this is the first day that Porsha went to visit Falin at her house. So Porsha is the one hugging Falin, and I think that's Porsha's friend. So over here you can see Falin introducing the two women to the husband. That's Porsha over there. Then over here you can see Falin having fun with Porsha and another friend she had brought along in her backyard. Because Porsha seemed like a disloyal friend, it sent a lot of tongues wagging on the social media space. And then, as if that was not enough, in May of 2021, Porsha announced her engagement to Simon. Come September of 2021, they flew to Nigeria to have a traditional wedding ceremony. Fast forward to November of 2022, they had two other wedding ceremonies, one traditional and one American ceremony in Atlanta, and they actually sold the rights to the People magazine. The beautiful photos on the People magazine from their two wedding ceremonies. I think this was the traditional one. She's dressed like an Edo bride. In fact, Simon gave her a new name, Esosa, from his tribe. And that's the American version. I don't know why Simon decided to dress like a military man, yet he doesn't have any military background. Then that is a snapshot from the traditional wedding. I think this was before the wedding ceremony. That was the American version of the wedding. The extravagant wedding cake. Bridesmaids. Then that was another outfit change. So from the look of how extravagant the wedding ceremonies were, and from Simon's social media profiles, it seems like he's a very wealthy man. So if you scrutinize his LinkedIn, he calls himself the CEO of Simcol Group, Fuel and Food Supply Chain Management. He puts his contact details are in Atlanta, Georgia. So this is what he has to say about himself. He says, Simon Guobadia is the Chief Executive Officer of Simcol Petroleum Limited Company, LLC, a company that provides consistent fuel supply in the Southeast at competitive market-based prices. He's also the founder of Simcol Group, a holding company for multilegal entities in energy, logistics, multimedia, and hospitality. With over 16 years of experience in the petroleum industry, Simon has developed strong analytical and financial skills, as well as a keen sense of process improvement and innovation. He has led Simcol Petroleum to achieve 99% delivery reliability for refined fuels, including diesel, gasoline, and biofuel, in collaboration with KLC Petroleum Transport, a petroleum freight shipper and trucking company that he also oversees as CEO. He has also diversified his portfolio by investing in various multimedia and hospitality ventures, such as film production, restaurants, and hotels. Simon's mission is to create value and opportunities for his customers, partners, and employees while contributing to the economic and social development of his community. It's a very impressive resume. But so in the past week, a lot of skeletons from his closet have been popping out. And the biggest one is the big question mark about his real identity. And this came up because of a court document that was leaked. Court document, which was filed in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, Atlanta Division, shows that Simon Iyore Guobadia was the petitioner, and the respondents were US Citizenship and Immigration Services. So the order read, this matter appears before the court on respondents who are the US Citizenship and Immigration Services. Motion to dismiss document number 7 for the following reason. The court grants US CIS a motion and dismisses the petitioner's case. That means the court sided with the US Immigration Services. So the background of the case arises out of petitioner's application for US citizenship. So the US CIS denied petitioner's application on the month of July 27th, 2022. So the petitioner requested a hearing on this decision, and the denial was reaffirmed. So the court derives the following facts from petitioner's complaint and its attachments. So the petitioner is a Nigerian citizen. We are talking about this Simon guy. So the petitioner first entered the United States in August of 11th of August 1982. He overstayed his visitor visa. However, in 1985, INS denied his application for adjustment of status. He was declared deportable and voluntarily departed from the US in December 1985. He then re-entered the US in June of 1986. The petitioner again overstayed for 6 months on a visitor visa. Then in September of 1987, the petitioner was arrested for bank and credit card fraud and pleaded guilty to a felony case. He was arrested in January of 1989 for unauthorized use of a vehicle, and again in May of 1990 for fraud ID. Thereafter, the agency began removal proceedings. In January of 1991, the petitioner committed another felony offense, that is a credit card fraud. Then in April of 1991, an immigration judge held a hearing and ordered petitioner to be deported. On 4th of March 1992, the petitioner was deported and physically removed from the United States. Before his March 1992 removal, however, on October of 1988, the petitioner used a different identity to seek temporary resident status under the Special Agricultural Worker Program. He also did not include his criminal history on his SAW application. So when his SAW application was approved with these misrepresentations and omissions, he was given a registration card as a temporary resident on July of 1991. So it means for SAW immigration benefits, petitioner's temporary resident status was automatically converted to permanent resident status following the waiting period. So the petitioner received his permanent residency card on April 27th of 1992. So 26 days after he had been so he received the permanent residency card under the SAW after he had been deported under his other undisclosed identity. On December of 2016, the petitioner applied for naturalization under his second identity and was denied because of his temporary resident status was unlawfully granted. So December 31st of 2020, the petitioner filed another application for naturalization. And following an interview with the petitioner, USCIS again denied petitioner naturalization application. So the USCIS explained that he was ineligible because he had not been lawfully admitted for permanent residence. His temporary resident status, achieved through the SAW program and benefits, had been based on a different identity and disqualifying criminal inadmissibility that was willfully concealed. So in October of 2022, the petitioner requested a hearing on this decision, and USCIS reaffirmed the denial of his naturalization application on 15th of November 2022. So on 13th of March 2023, the petitioner filed the instant complaint in this court and asked the court to vacate the denial and remand with instruction to grant petitioner application. So a respondent may move to dismiss a complaint for failure to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. When considering a rule, motion to dismiss, the court accepts the factual allegations made in the complaint as true and construes them in the light most favorable to the petitioner. To state the plausible claim, a petitioner need only plead factual content that allows the court to draw the reasonable inference that the respondent is liable for the misconduct alleged. A complaint must contain either direct or inferential allegations respecting all the material elements necessary to sustain recoverable under some viable legal theory. So on the analysis part, the petitioner's complaint asks the court to vacate the USCIS decision denying his naturalization application and remand the instruction to grant his application. So as is relevant for petitioner's case, for USCIS to grant a naturalization application, the applicant must be lawfully admitted to the United States for permanent residence. So it is the applicant's burden of proof to show that his entry to the United States was lawful. More specifically, the applicant must have been a lawful permanent resident for at least 5 years, reside in the US continuously between his naturalization application and admission to citizenship, and be a person of good moral character, attached to the principles of the Constitution of the US, and well disposed to the good order and happiness of the United States. Here, USCIS denied petitioner's application because he failed to show that he was a lawful permanent resident. The petitioner's permanent resident status arose from his application of SAW immigration benefit in 1992. So, bottom, the court concluded that for foregoing reasons, the court grants USCIS motion to dismiss and dismisses the petitioner's case. It is very bold for him to sue the United States government for denying him citizenship. So I saw some immigration lawyer comment on social media that if that guy was his client, he would have advised him against applying for citizenship, because now what he's done is he's shown the immigration service the loopholes he used. The case that faced Joe from Real Housewives of New Jersey, the guy never converted his green card into an American passport, yet he'd lived in the US for over 40 years. So because he committed bank fraud and had some tax issues, he was jailed for 3 years. Then after he finished serving his jail term, he he was deported back to Italy because he still had Italian citizenship. Because Simon has decided to make himself a public figure, he might tempt the immigration department to revoke his green card, and then he's going to face deportation. I'm out about this man. I'm going to make more videos about him, so make sure you stay tuned for the same. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Let me know what you think about this man in the comment section below. Like and share this video. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.